creeping around. I don't know. How are you this morning? A little bit different view. I'm actually headed to see my first patient, and so thought maybe you might want to ride with me. It is dark, so I know you couldn't really see me, so it's a better view out here anyway for you to see what's happening outside. I don't really like where my phone holder is on the dash, but I know it's supposed to be turned sideways for a better view or whatever, so we're going to try that and see how it works. Well, I hope you all had a good weekend. I had a fantastic weekend. Saturday, I, of course, did my regular housework, and I got out there and cut grass, and let me tell you, I have learned a lesson. Do not wear flip-flops doing yard work. I fell. I fell out in the backyard. I tripped over, well, the flip-flop, I guess it just, I don't know, there was a little cord out there from a satellite that we used to have. We need to get that thing up, or I don't know how to dig it up, but Troy said he's going to try to get it up, but I had a cord on it, and my flip-flop bent backward, and I fell. So my chiropractor has got his work cut out for him today. But it's still a good weekend. I got up right away. I didn't sit there. I got two abrasions on both knees where I fell. And you know, my shoulder, well, not really my shoulder, it's the side of my arm around the deltoid muscle is so sore, but I think it's just from trying to catch me. But yeah, I said, my goodness, and I looked, and nobody could see me where I was at in the backyard. So I thought, oh good, nobody will be laughing. But anyway, yeah, I had a good weekend. I smoked a beef brisket, and I was disappointed. I don't know, I got that beef brisket at Food Line, paid a good bit for it, because you know that stuff is expensive, but I just wasn't that impressed with it. I don't think it had enough fat in it, and I think that was the problem. So yeah, I'm not buying any more beef brisket for a while, so I'll stick with my pork butts. And when I buy a pork butt, it's got fat on it, so that's what makes it juicy. Who wants any dry meat? Not me. If I cook chicken breast, like out on the grill, I'll let it soak and marinate. And a good marinade that we used for years and years is Italian dressing. Just let it soak in that, and it does help. Yeah, it gives it a little more flavor, and it makes it less dry. So we, our son's was there, and so we had a good dinner. And it's back to the grind, and you know it's Monday when you go out and get in your car and you left your work tablet and your phone sitting by the coffee pot. I got in here and I looked and I thought, where's my phone? And I said, oh, I had to get out and go back in and get it. So happy Monday. Oh my goodness. I think my husband's still catching slack about his Facebook post, and I'm just going to be honest with you. I thought of this over the weekend, and I thought, you know what? Those people, they need better things to do. I mean, really. You know, if you want to get mad over a meme, then you're looking for something to get mad about. I'm just going to be honest. You want a reason to fuss and argue. And I think it's silly. I think it's stupid that you waste your time. And I'm going to tell you, I got on there, and some of these folks that complain, you know, I used to get on Facebook, and I seen some of their posts. And I'm thinking to myself, I remember just scrolling on, honey, when you was putting stuff on there. There was a couple that posted something on there. And I remember thinking, this guy has a dark sense of humor and finds humor in stuff that I thought was kind of weird, but I never commented. I kept scrolling. But if that's what he wants to put, so be it. I'm gonna be honest. Over half of them people on there are not friends. I don't hang out with none of them. And the ones that were blood related, I don't hang out with them either. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know them cousins that was on there calling Troy the a-hole and all this. I've seen that one that called him that said we were family. I've seen her one time, and that was at a funeral. And I didn't even know she existed. She's a second cousin, okay? Now the first cousin, I haven't seen her since I was, 8 or 9, and I'll be 50 in a few days. I seen her, let me take that back. I seen her at the funeral, that same funeral. And their mom and granny died. And so I went to that funeral. And that's the first time I'd seen her since I was just a little kid. Since I was 7, 8, 9 years old. And they can defriend, they can do whatever they want to. But Troy said, "Well, they're not my family." I said, "No, you know what? They really ain't my family either. I don't know them people. We're all blood related, no doubt. Somewhere we all come from Adam and Eve." So, I thought about that, and I was just, I don't know. I just thought to myself, you know what? That's what it is. Facebook, social media, and all that. People get on there. They're keyboard bandits. Yeah, but I doubt they would have. Any of them had said anything to Troy face to face, honestly. And I'm going to tell you about Troy. He don't care. He really don't. And he is brutally honest in whatever he says. And I've always tried to hem-haw around people's feelings and stuff like that. But the more I'm around him, the more I'm beginning to. I know I've changed a lot since I've worked in Atlanta. I'm nothing like I was. Not that I'm bad, but I'm straight up with folks. And I'm being straight up on here. If people want to get on there and say things and get mad over that, then good riddance. Take yourself off at social media. Who cares, But I will say this, those kind of people, they'll be the ones to show up at the funeral home. I was telling Troy the other day, I said, you know what? I don't want these people that we've been to church with and all this stuff, because they're not really your friends, or they're not our friends, I'll tell you that. And I said, I want only, if I die, I don't want people coming to the funeral home. I want it just to be my immediate family. And nobody else. I don't want all these people. If you don't come see me or talk to me when I'm alive, don't come when I'm dead. I mean, really, But, yeah, some of those folks, there was a church lady we went to church with. I mean, yeah, just, and I could jab at all of these people. I really could, because some of them are on there posting stuff that it is insensitive. It could be insensitive content, but who cares? I never cared enough to get on there and argue with them. And I seen stuff. I can remember looking on there, and some of these ladies wanting to wear, and some of the ones that posted and commented how insensitive it was, have pictures of themselves on there with half their chest hanging out, trying to show their boobs. And I'm gonna tell you, that's somebody that needs attention, and you ought to be getting it at home if you're married. I mean, that's just not the place to do it. But I've seen some of that, and I never commented. I just scrolled on. I mean, but I'm just being brutally honest with you. I've seen stuff, they want to hold up their glass of wine and show off whatever parts of their body. That's somebody that needs attention. And desperate enough to do it on Facebook, then you're pretty desperate. You are pretty desperate. And I just said, I'm getting off here. I don't get on that mess. And but yeah, you know, I thought about that, and I asked Troy, I said, where did you find that picture? He said he saw it on Twitter. And he just thought it was funny because it was the burnt pizza. He never had in mind of any of them people dying over there or any of the stuff. He just know they have fires over there, and it was a burnt pizza. So he meant nothing by it. So for all those that say, oh, he's insensitive or whatever, no, he's not. He really ain't. And, you know, you need to just remove yourself off his Facebook. He's not going to remove you, I'll tell you that, because he'll just keep putting stuff out there on Facebook, and it'll probably ruffle your feathers, and he don't care. He really don't care. You just take yourself off. And if you're trying to keep up with me, you can watch my YouTube channel. And I'm going to be honest, you might not like what I say on here, because a lot of y'all I haven't seen in years that made those comments. And I may never see you again. I don't know. You know, I don't hate any of you. I pray for you. I want nothing but God's best for you. But before you want to be a keyboard bandit, you really need to stop and think and quit wasting your time saying things like that to people and you know, calling them names. That's ridiculous. That is, I guarantee you that second cousin would not have said nothing like that to his face. And because she probably got a word back. I'm just going to be honest. Troy is brutally honest, and he don't have to say a bad word to tell you what he thinks. And for those that know Troy, they know he worked in a prison for nearly 20 years. He dealt with inmates and convicts, and honey, he just don't take, he never took crap off of them, and he don't really care about what others think. He really don't. And he and I both, I worked there almost 12 years, and I never took nothing off those inmates. Those inmates didn't talk to me any old way, and I was a different person then, and I let them have it back, and I used a choice of words that I try not to ever use now. I think there's nothing uglier than a woman cussing, especially using them 4-letter words, and anybody that uses GD, God's name, in vain. You know, you're just a sick person. There's something not right about you, and you'll regret that one day. You'll regret that one day. But I just I thought about that, and I'll tell you why I thought about it. It's because somebody mentioned it, and so they said, "What has Troy done?" And I said, "He put a meme on Facebook, and some of the snowflakes out there got their little feelings hurt, and had to get on there and say stuff and talk about how insensitive he was, and it's not funny and all this." Well, if you don't find it funny, okay, he don't care. and to be honest, I don't either. So you know what? You can just waste your time if you want to, and keep on keeping on. That's what I say to you. But anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. And I can remember when he and I shared that Facebook, when I would still post, and I had put stuff on there. You know, I always tried to put things that I really couldn't be what I really thought, honestly, and what I wanted people to hear, and would dance around their feelings. And I had some friends that were on there that were gay. Now, I love them. Don't get me wrong. God loves them. But I don't agree with that lifestyle. And, you know, hey, I'm not ashamed to say that. And Troy would get on there and post stuff like marriages between a man and a woman. And I can remember remember some of those folks, hey, they would block us and everything else. They didn't like that. They didn't like to hear the truth. And but you know what? If you look on his Facebook and if you continue to watch my YouTube videos, you're going to get the truth, whether you like it or not. I have decided I'm going to be just as bold as he is. Now, there's things that he might find humor in I don't, and that's okay. He's different. He and I are different people. And I may say something that he might think is crazy or something. But it's all right. It's all right. But you know what? My little mother, some of you mentioned Mom on there, on them comments, and someone mentioned it to her. And I told her exactly what it was. And she said, well, you know what I would tell them? I would say, he that is without sin, let him cast the first stone. She said, that's a bunch of stone throwers. And it is. They want to throw stones, and yet they post stuff on there with, I mean, yeah, stuff that it ain't always right. It ain't always biblical. And I'm going to tell you, you can post stuff out of pride. Pride's one of the 7 deadly sins. That's what got Lucifer kicked out of heaven. And I would say just about every one of them has posted something pertaining to pride on there. But anyway, you know, he that is without sin, let them cast the first stone. And that's just my thought for the day. And we're riding along. This is what we call Turkey Mountain Road. I don't know why I never see any turkeys out here, but anyway, that's my 2 cents on Facebook. And I'm thinking, I still got the app on my phone. I've got Messenger, and occasionally somebody will try to contact me through Messenger, but I'm thinking about getting rid of both of them. I don't need them. I don't need them. And you know, it's a waste of time that you can't get back. Yeah, I was sitting out on my porch yesterday morning, and those little squirrels was just going and running after each other, and the birds was singing, and a little baby deer came up to the front yard. It was spotted up, and it didn't walk very good, so I know it wasn't very old. But Bella started barking, and he run off, or she run off, whatever. And but that's what I like to sit out there and see God's creation, read my Bible, and meditate on it, talk to God. You know, you can talk to God wherever you are. You can. I talk to him a whole lot driving on my way to Atlanta and back. Me and him have some conversations. And there's times I leave houses, and before I get to my car, I've already had a conversation with him. I'm praying for that patient and their family, whatever it may be. And you know, that's something we all need to think of. Death is going to hit. Death is going to hit. We all are going to die one day. We don't know the day. And I'm going to tell you, as a nurse, anything can go wrong in this old body. You could have an aneurysm. You could be fine one minute and have an aneurysm the next, and you're gone. I mean, it can, you know, it's not a perfect body. It's not a perfect body. And we all need to think more about dying. And that's my thought and my belief. And if you had dying on your mind, you wouldn't have time to do some of this other old crazy stuff. I mean, that's just honest, like it or not. But I think about it every day. Because I'm a nurse, I see it. I come into contact with folks that need to be on hospice sometimes. I seen a lady not long ago, young, like early 60s, maximum of 5 years left. She's got cancer. You know, I always tell them, though, it ain't over until God says it is. Doctors can be wrong. And I'm praying for you. And, you know, it's just the world we live in. It's sad. It is sad. But anyway, that's my little rant on social media. Like it or not, I don't really care. I'm gonna sleep good tonight. You know what? I slept good last night. I'll tell you something I'm doing different. I am taking 20 mLs of really good organic pressed, cold pressed olive oil. And the benefits of that, you need to look it up. You know, I'm not telling you to do it, but I'm going to tell you, I slept good last night. And it's supposed to be really, really good for you. It's good for the digestive system. Like if you're going to bed and you don't want to eat nothing, but you're a little hungry, it just helps. I don't know how, but it does. It helps to satisfy that. It kind of gives you a full feeling. And I slept well. It's anti-inflammatory. I figured I needed that after falling Saturday. Oh, man. Yes, you gotta laugh to keep from crying. I laughed. I got up, and then I thought, Lord, you know, the devil tries to get you down, but thank you, Lord, that I'm all right. I told my husband yesterday, I said, I'm sore on my right arm. He said, you're not a spring chicken anymore. It ain't like it was when you was a little kid and you fell. You got right back up and, you know, wiped the dust off and kept going. And that's true. So I took that olive oil. I'm going to start giving it to Troy every night. And see how it does for him. But anyway, it's Monday. It's going to be a good week. It's going to be a good week. Headed to Chamblee, just metro Atlanta, big town actually. It's growing. It's a big little area, and I'm gonna head there and then head on to Atlanta and get these folks seen, taken care of. And I'm thinking about cooking some fish for dinner today. I don't know. I have been reading up on the Mediterranean diet. I mean, keto's okay, and nothing against it. You'll lose weight on it, but when you start back eating regular stuff with carbs, you're going to probably put a little bit of that back on. But the Mediterranean diet, I mean, it's pretty healthy. I mean, it's pretty much chicken and fish and vegetables and fruit. And we just have to watch with Troy's diabetes, you know, the fruit. But that's the best way to go. If you're gonna eat sweets, natural sugar is the way to go. All this processed mess that we eat, candy and stuff, that's so bad for you. So bad. So I'm thinking that we're gonna have some fish today. Salmon I do like, but I have to put a lot of butter in it. I like to just put it in the oven. Put a little lemon pepper or some garlic on it, and salt, pepper, and butter, because it will dry out. And you can also do like Parmesan crusted. And I haven't tried that, but that'd probably be pretty good. I know, you know, normally people use flour or cornflakes or potato chips, you know. All that stuff that tastes good, but it just ain't good for you. So, anyway. I've got my youngest son, our youngest boy. He will be 29 next Sunday. So, we'll probably blow the diet because we're going to Red Lobster. And, them darn cheese biscuits. Oh, my goodness, I tell you. They are delish, but they ain't good for you. But he loves some Red Lobster, and so that's where we're going to take him. 29 years. Wow. I can remember when he was born. I got up about 2 in the morning. I had to go to the bathroom. I thought I had to pee. And I go in there, and honey, my water had broke. And I woke Troy up, and I said, because he wasn't due for a couple more weeks. And I woke Troy up, and I said, I think it's time. We got to go to the hospital. So we went, and I just barely got there in time. I was in labor an hour and 20 minutes. I had him natural. And I tease him a lot. I say, you know, you was a pain in the rear then, and you still a pain in the rear. But I had him natural. And, you know, if I ever, of course, I don't have any more children, but if I ever did, that's the way to go. You heal up better. It's just better for you. That was God's way of meant for you to have a baby. And I know with Lance, I had the epidural, and I had problems. I almost died after I had Lance. Yeah, I was hemorrhaging, yeah. And I can remember they talked to my mother and was asking her what funeral home that we used. And I was laying there, sort of like I was kind of in and out. But I just remember thinking, oh my goodness, I'm going to die. I just had this little baby, and, you know, he's just a few days old, and you know, don't tell me who's going to take care of my baby. Nobody will take care of him like me, you know. But I almost died after I had Lance, and I had complications and had the epidural and all this. But the guy that delivered him, he was about 100 years old. He was really too old to be practicing. He died. Lance was 5 years old. He passed away, but Dr. Crawley was... I would say he was probably mid-90s. Yeah, so he was old. He really shouldn't have been working, but I don't think he really knew what he was doing because of some of the things he did that caused me to hemorrhage like that. But anyway, yeah, Zach will be 29, and we're going to celebrate. Yeah, I'm proud of him. He just got a job closer to home, and so that's a blessing for him. Huge blessing. He's like Troy, he's been driving to Tennessee to work for the last few years, and you know that is hard. I drive to Atlanta every day, so I know it's tough, and you know, traffic and the wear and tear on your car and all this. And Troy serviced my car. He did a motor flush, I think he said, and rotated my tires, changed my oil, redid the brakes. That's something that I go through down here is brakes, because it's stop and go a lot of times down here. Most of the time, to be honest with you. So I get frequent oil changes and frequent brake changes on this thing. But you know, I just want to keep driving it. It's paid for, and it's got, let me look, 294,628 miles as I'm driving now on it. I'm just going to keep on till the wheels fall off. If I have to replace the transmission or the motor, I'd rather do that than to go out in debt and buy a new car and be making $600-700 car payments to drive to Atlanta every day. I mean, yeah. So just keep on keeping on with this one. That's what I'm going to do, and it serves me well. But anyway, I do want you to have a good day, a good week, and I hope you don't waste your time on that social media stuff. Get up and do something. You know, that's time you could be spending with your family. That's time you could be focusing on something that's beneficial to you. Because you know what? Social media and Facebook stuff, that causes a lot of folks to feel inferior. It brings down self-esteem. It causes strife and bitterness among people. I mean, what good is that? How is that helping? how's that helping? People start getting jealous on there and stuff. I mean, you know, some people get annoyed. Why do you want to subject yourself to that?
On the right,
And
to I-75 south,
you know,
toward Atlanta.
I asked Troy the same question. Now, I'll tell you, I don't think he spends that kind of time on Facebook. He will post stuff. He's a big Georgia Bulldog fan. He loves them dogs. His mom said that when he was a little bitty thing, he used to come in there and give her a play-by-play of what was going down with the Georgia game. He's always loved Georgia.
Take the ramp on the right to I-75 south,
He
toward
posts stuff
Atlanta.
about that. He'll post some political stuff. And if you hadn't figured out by now, you know, we both are conservative. We both have always supported Trump. And I don't necessarily agree with everything that man says or does, just to be honest with you. But I'm going to tell you what, the economy was a lot better off than it is with that when we got up there now. A lot better off. I mean, you know, they got a lot done in his administration. And Biden's got a lot done. I'm not going to lie, he's got a whole lot done. But it wasn't good. I mean, groceries, everything going up. Our car insurance went up over $300 a month. And I thought, oh, wow, I've got to call around. Well, everywhere I called was more than what I was paying. And how ridiculous is that? Our home property value tripled. More taxes. Yeah. And you can thank a Democrat for that. You can thank Biden and his clan. But I know he probably ticked some of them off because he's a Trump fan. And he posts his little political views, but hey, you're not going to change him. Hey, I've been with him over 30 years, and I'm going to tell you, I can't change him, and I don't want to. I love him as he is. And if you don't like him, you really don't know him, to be honest. You really don't know him. Those people on Facebook don't know Troy. He's got some family that's on there. But honestly, some of his family he ain't seen in a long time. And, you know, he's got people that he worked with it in the mill or whatever, when he worked at Mohawk, and that's on there. And people at the prison. But the majority of them people on there, they don't know. The ones that did the comment don't know him. I would say most of them have never met him. Yeah. So you don't know him. And he don't know you, and I don't think he wants to know you, just to be honest with you. But anyway, have a good day. I think it's going to be sunny. I'm hoping. The sunshine just does me so much good. It just, I don't know. I don't know if it does you that way. My bottle just popped. I don't know if it does you that way or not, but the sun just puts me in a better mood. It does. And I know fall's coming around the corner, and I love fall. Oh, yeah. I think I like fall better than spring, but spring would be number 2. Yeah. Yeah, and then the summer, and then winter would be last, because I stay cold sometimes in the summer. I sleep with all kinds of blankets at night because I just get cold. But then again, Troy does keep it pretty cold in there. You can hang me where we sleep. It's that cold. But anyway, hope you have a good week. Drink your water. Don't waste your time on stuff that ain't going to bring you some benefit. That's what I would tell you for some good advice. And just, yeah, have a good week. You know, you got to make it a point to be happy. It's up to you. I did a paper one time in college on is happiness a choice? And I'm going to be honest with you, it is. And there's some people that they're wired a little different in the brain. A lot of it's genetics, a lot of it's trauma, and they may be, yeah, genetically predisposed to depression and stuff. Well, that's when you go to the doctor. That's when you go to God, first of all. Talk to Him. But you may need to be on some medication for that imbalance. And that's a choice. I have patients, a lot of psych patients down here, and when they get to feeling pretty good, they quit taking their medicine, and then they end up in some kind of rage or something, and they end up in the hospital. And I tell them, you know, why you're feeling good? The medicine's working. You don't quit taking it. So it is a choice. So be happy today, okay? It is your choice, and I will sign off here, and hope you've enjoyed riding with me. Well, we're not in Atlanta, but we're on the way. We're on the way. You can tell where they're paving this road. The left lane to me is paved, and the lane I'm in, and then the right lane, it's not paved yet. And some mornings they've got this lane that I'm in and the one that's paved blocked off, so we're down to one lane. And golly, that makes for a long drive. All right, listen, have a good one out there, and if the sun ain't shining where you are, you just make your own sunshine. All right. Have a good one.